This time we're doing something a little different than the usual anime tier list thing. We're doing a fight bracket, and this isn't like character versus character fight. We're doing like which show is better. I could do a character versus character fight if that's something that wants to be done. You know, let me know. But for now, it's just show versus show. They're all shonen shows. This is the shonen edition. I have another one planned for a romance anime thing, but we'll save that for another day. We're just gonna swing on into presentation mode, and this thing is kind of cool because it gives you like a head-to-head right away. So I have to pick between Fullmetal Alchemist and Maggie, or Magi, or Magi. It's Magi though. And this is a no-brainer for me because Fullmetal Alchemist, probably my favorite show of all time. Like there's not much that I can really do. Maggie is good though. It's a great show. It's just not at the caliber of Fullmetal Alchemist. Okay. Noragami and Food Wars. Food Wars is probably one of the perfect shonens in that it just gives you what a shonen is supposed to give you, being like you're just supposed to get some form of enjoyment and fulfillment from it, and it goes towards a different route than most shonens. But Noragami just does everything right, in my opinion. It's such a good show. Fights are good. Comedy is good. Animation is beautiful. The story itself is good. I bought the entire manga set up to date, and I've read it almost twice. I'm halfway through again. Noragami easily beats Food Wars, and I love Food Wars. Food Wars is great. I've made this exact dish from this shot right here. I've made this before, and it came out fucking slamming. But Noragami just takes it easy. Next is My Hero versus Death Note. Death Note is more of like an adult-oriented show than a shonen. And My Hero is like the quintessential shonen right now. It's like everything you want in a shonen, just in one, with a ton of characters, huge fight, beautiful animation. But Death Note, even though I'm not somebody who loves Death Note all that much, Death Note definitely beats out My Hero in terms of like how good the show is. Because My Hero is in like a bad spot up until the new season, but I can't get over the fact that it went through like all the rough patches it has. And I read the manga every week, so don't think like I'm just shitting on it. But Death Note is just better right now. Hajime no Ippo is another one of those shows that like pioneered like the huge shonen era. It still goes on. The manga is well over 1,000 chapters, and I read it occasionally. I'm not caught up, I'm not gonna lie. It's great. The fights are fantastic. The story is beautiful, but it's kind of like it's disrespectful for it to go up against Attack on Titan, because most other shows would lose to Hajime no Ippo, but Attack on Titan is just different. It's everybody's favorite show for the past few years. If I don't pick it, I'll probably get death threats, so I have to pick it. Even though I know it's the better show, I have to pick it. I guess we're going side to side. I didn't know that's how this bracket was gonna go. So I talked all that good shit about Noragami, and I love Noragami, but Fullmetal Alchemist is in the exact same situation. I have manga for Fullmetal Alchemist. I don't have all of it because I literally cannot find all of it in the stores I go to. Also, Fullmetal Alchemist, in my opinion, is the perfect anime. It has the most complete story. It just does everything correct. Everything that happens in the show always comes back around and is like solidified. Like, you know why it happened, you know why it's great. It's perfect. So I have to pick a Fullmetal. Even though Noragami is one of my favorite, and I actually like Yato and some of the characters in this show more than some characters in this show. Not all characters. Roy Mustang, probably my favorite character in most shonen. But Yato is great. It's just Bishamon is great. I can go on and on. But Fullmetal wins. Easy. This one, for me, is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer that Death Note loses 100% of the time. 100% of the time, Death Note gets slapped up by Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan does get a little tiresome sometimes, whereas Death Note really doesn't. But the difference is that Attack on Titan keeps changing and evolving and like getting more interesting in some form. Where Death Note, once you figure out the main plot of Death Note and like what the direction they're going, it's over. And then once L dies, spoiler, I guess, if you haven't finished the show. Once L dies, the show dies. So 100% of the time, Attack on Titan wins this. I still think Fullmetal wins here. I'm not gonna lie. I think Fullmetal Alchemist is the better show. On the flip side of that, though, whatever Fullmetal doesn't have, Attack on Titan definitely has. And I read the manga for Attack on Titan, and I loved it. The ending was meh, but it's not animated yet. They can always change that. And I don't know, the whole dynamic in Attack on Titan is great, but the story of Fullmetal Alchemist is just so fantastic that there's only like a few shows on here that have a chance of beating it, which is why it's so highly seeded. It's literally the #1 seed on this side of the bracket, where Attack on Titan was #2. And I did not plan that. It just happened that way. And it's just so beautiful that it happened that way, but the #1 is still coming out on top. And it's Fullmetal. Fullmetal moves on to the finals. Let's fucking go. This I'm not even going to talk about. I'm not even going to talk about this for the simple reason that this show went to shit, and Hunter x Hunter is a perfect show. Everything about it is fantastic. Chimera Anarch, don't need to say more. Gon Killua dynamic is fantastic. It's just beautiful. Everything about it is great. I love it. Easy Hunter x Hunter clap there. This is the only sports anime on the list. Didn't even realize that when I was making it. And in terms of like the feel-good moments, it's there. I love the show. It got real tired for me when like communities like finally decided to pick it up. Like it was kind of off the radar for the first season, and then out of nowhere it blew up. And I seen it before it blew up. And once it blew up, it made me kind of like hate the show a little bit. I was like, bro, like the fandom is ruining this show for me. On the flip side, Naruto. I'm not a huge Naruto guy, despite the Itachi shirt. I'm an Itachi guy, but not a Naruto guy. Naruto, OG Naruto, fantastic. I love the show. Shippuden belittled Naruto's journey and growth with the ending, but overall, it is still a great show. It gets every point you need it to, aside from the filler. I'm not even going to consider the filler, because most shows have filler, and Naruto just gets shit on for the amount of filler it has, which should play a factor in how people view the show. But I'm going to try and not think about the filler, except the Kakashi filler, because it's beautiful and the best part of the entire series. You can fight me. Chunin exam is #2. Itachi and Kakashi shit, #1. So Naruto wins, easy. Alright, time for some hate. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. JoJo fans rise and come at me, I guess. Because Dragon Ball Z fucking wins. Easily. In terms of shonen anime, there would be no shonen anime without Dragon Ball. And it deserves to be seated higher. Like, I kind of gave it a shit seating here. But it definitely deserves a better seating than what I gave it. And I love JoJo. Part 1 and 2 is my favorite, and I'll die on that hill alone because nobody agrees with me. I'll die there, sure, whatever. And I love Dio. He's great. One of my favorite anime villains of all time. But just Dragon Ball, yeah, it's big fights, big sweaty fights, but it's become a staple of the shonen genre that all of them have those fights because of Dragon Ball. And Dragon Ball fights are still better. The story is not bad. And I just like the characters more than I like these characters. Excluding Joseph, who is my favorite character from the entire series. But I don't know. Thinking about Joseph makes me want to pick JoJo's. But they got Vegeta. They got a ton of good characters. Goku Black, everything. I guess I can't count Goku Black, actually. That's super. But DBZ still wins. All right, I'm dying on the hill that part 1 and 2 is better, and that Dragon Ball is just better than JoJo's. Fight me, I guess. I don't know why this should even be an argument, if I'm being honest. Demon Slayer is great. It's a good show. Don't get me wrong. If you read the manga, you know that it literally can only get better for the most part. And it's great. It's one of the big three currently. If you want to make that argument. But One Piece, bro. One Piece is different. One Piece is one of those shows that can go the distance, and I will die on this hill too. I'm on a lot of hills that I'm dying alone on. Once One Piece is finished, it will not only be the greatest manga of all time, it will be the greatest show of all time. And I will die on that hill alone. But even considering it's not finished, I still think it's better than Demon Slayer. The world building is unlike any other, without a doubt. Power system is so unique. They got 2 power systems in this bitch. 2. And other shows got 2 power systems too, but they are nothing. Not a single thing like fucking One Piece. Alright, more hate. This is the hate side of the bracket. Everyone's gonna hate me for this fucking thing right here. This right side of the bracket, everyone's gonna hate me for it. See, this is probably one of the first hard ones, aside from, you know, the finals and the left side of the bracket. This is probably the first hard one that is really making me think about it. I love Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is in my top 5. Naruto is not in my top 5, not even my fucking top 10. But in terms of like shonen and shonen anime, I do think that this is better because shonen is more geared for, like, I don't know, a certain demographic, and they both hit that demographic. But Hunter x Hunter is just like it's not there with like the level that Naruto hits. Like, Naruto hits a wider audience, has more episodes. It finished. They kind of shit on him at the end, but we don't even know what happens to Gon in the end. We don't know what's happening with him now. Like, he could never come back in another chapter. Even though the creator can say all he wants, that he's gonna finish it before he dies, and I hope he does, obviously. I hope he finishes his masterpiece in his mind. But in terms of a shonen, currently, right now, Naruto wins. And it's hard for me to even click on Naruto, because I don't think he deserves to go to the finals. He just doesn't. But he is there. He made it. I talked a lot of shit about Dragon Ball before. How it's the quintessential. It, you know, it's great. Fights, characters. And One Piece has everything else, including that. It has all that and more. So it's got the world building, power system, like I said before. It's got the characters, the design, unique art style. Where else are you gonna find people that look like this? The humor. Everything about One Piece is just amazing, and I love it. I have to go One Piece over Dragon Ball, and I grew up on Dragon Ball just like everybody else. But I also grew up on One Piece. Seeing that fucking 4Kids, where I see Sanji smoking a fucking lollipop, Helmeppo's hammer gun, like, I know all that shit. I've been through the rough parts of One Piece, and I've also been through the rough parts of Dragon Ball, being Dragon Ball Z Kai. But overall, even though Dragon Ball Z is finished, and a lot of people really don't like the ending of Dragon Ball Z, I actually do. But I think currently, even if One Piece finished tomorrow, and it was shit, I'd still think that One Piece is a better show overall. Again, it's the exact same argument I just had. The world, and actually it's a little bit harder, because world building in Naruto is great. It has fantastic world building. The character development, it's the whole point of the show is for characters to develop. And obviously the development is belittled in my mind with the ending, but overall the development is there. Whatever the direction they took, I might not agree with it, but they still had development, and people grew up with Naruto. and they felt like they were actually growing up with him, not like watching him, but with him. And the same thing for Luffy. But the difference between these two is characters, really. They pretty much hit the same points on a fucking checklist you could think of, but the only difference is, I guess, world building is better in One Piece, but the main difference is the characters. A lot of Naruto's characters are not as likable as a lot of One Piece's characters. It's really hard to hate some of the main characters One Piece throws at you, and it's really easy to hate the characters that Naruto throws at you. Like, it's not hard to hate some of the characters in One Piece, but it's not like they're trying to make you like them either. In One Piece, it feels very natural that they're there. It just makes you want to like the character more. An example. Well, let me think of an example. Law. Law is a fan favorite character, and I love Law. I've loved Law since his first appearance as a minor character, and we didn't even know what he was going to become. But I just loved him. Like, he was immediately, his vibes were good. You just understood a little bit about this character, and it just gets more complex, and he grows so much. A side character grows from a side character into a main character that's not even a real main character, but he feels like a main character. Naruto has nobody, not a single character that gives you that same feeling that this character is so important they could be a main character. Not a single character can do that. And Naruto and Sasuke are the main characters, alright? I don't care. It's Naruto's main story, but Sasuke is also a main character. But it's not like you think of fucking, like, Hinata, and you're like, oh, you know, Hinata has main character potential. She doesn't. She doesn't. But overall, One Piece wins. I like Naruto in the terms of a shonen. Not so much as a show, for me personally. But it hits all the shonen marks, and that's why it's got this far. But One Piece is just better, and if you don't think it's better, you have not finished One Piece, or even watched any of One Piece, really. Put the amount of time you put into Naruto into One Piece, and you'll realize why One Piece is way better. Easy win. Well, hard win, but you know what I mean. Alright, the finals! Final time. We got Fullmetal versus One Piece. Alright, this is difficult. I gave so many fucking bulletin points why One Piece is fantastic. And I love One Piece. It's one of the greatest shows ever. Without a doubt, it's so fucking good. It's a show that I will never forget. It gives me so much emotions and shit like that with everything that it has. I'm not gonna spoil it in case somebody hasn't watched it, even though the show is over 20 years old. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not gonna spoil anything from Fullmetal either if you haven't seen it. Because these shows are an absolute must-watch. If you have the time for One Piece, watch it. If you don't have the time for One Piece, make the time for One Piece. If you haven't seen Fullmetal Alchemist, you have not seen the perfect anime. This is the anime that everyone should set their standards to. Everything that happens comes full circle. And it's the perfect... I'm gonna pick it for that reason. That it encapsulates everything that a show should be. Character building, world building, power system is so unique, you'll never find anything like it in either series. And this is for both series, everything I'm saying so far. The humor, everything about both of these shows is just beautiful, but this has a leg up on it for the simple fact that it's done. Everything did come full circle. Where One Piece, if it finishes one day and I'm still alive for that, I guess, you know, whatever. I don't know, could come out in 60 years and I'll be fucking dead. But once One Piece finishes, I 100% think I'm having a fucking stroke thinking of the show so much. I 100% think that One Piece will be the perfect show and it will beat Fullmetal Alchemist. Because it already feels like everything is coming full circle, but it hasn't yet. So I have to put Fullmetal over it. Fullmetal wins. Woo! Fullmetal fans! Let's fucking go! We're winners! Yeah! I didn't pick it only because I have the tattoo. I picked it because it's the best. Alright. Well, we save. Alright, we don't save, I guess. I guess we don't save. That's fine. Whatever. You know, sure. Fuck me. Alright? Whatever. I don't care. I don't care at all. I don't, why would I care? Why would I care? Alright. That is gonna be it, though. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more like this, just let me know. I have a bunch of these planned out. You have an idea for ones I should do? Let me know. Like I said, I got a romance one I plan on doing for romance anime. I might even do a character one where it's like characters going up against each other and fighting. But as of right now, this is it. If you guys want to see more of these, let me know. That's pretty much it. See ya.